Now Peter was sitting outside in the courtyard, and a servant girl came up to him and said, "You also were with Jesus the Galilean." But he denied it before them all, saying, "I do not know what you mean." And when he went out to the entrance, another servant girl saw him, and she said to the bystanders, "This man was with Jesus of Nazareth." And again he denied it with an oath, "I do not know the man." After a little while the bystanders came up and said to Peter, "Certainly you too are one of them, for your accent betrays you." Then he began to invoke a curse on himself and to swear, "I do not know the man." And immediately the rooster crowed. And Peter remembered the saying of Jesus, "Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times." And he went out and wept bitterly.
My name is Mike Comer. I'm an elder at Renolda Church. I attend the Village campus. Most of us, when we read this passage, we think about the rooster crowing, and then we get a vivid image of a grown man, a rough and tumbled fisherman, weeping, but not just weeping, weeping bitterly. But as I read this passage, I'd like to back up a bit, because earlier in the passage, a servant girl comes to Peter and says, "Peter, you are one of those people that followed Christ." And Peter says, "You don't know me. That's not me." And she says, "No, I know you. You're a follower of Christ." And again, he gets frustrated. He says, "You don't know who I am." And later, another girl comes and says, "We know who you are. We know who you are because of your accent." And he's like, "You don't know me. You don't know who I am." If we backed up just a little bit in the narrative, we would see Jesus talking to his disciples, and he says, "One of you will betray me." And he says, "As a matter of fact, all of you will abandon me. You will desert me." And Peter speaks up and says, "I won't, Lord. I know myself. I know that I will die for you. I know myself so well that I'll never abandon you." And Jesus, in essence, says, "No, Peter, I know you. And I know that you will deny me. And as a reminder of how well I know you, the rooster will crow." God knows us. God knows us better than we know ourselves. The scripture says that even the hairs on our head are numbered. God spoke to Jeremiah. He said, "Jeremiah, even before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew who you were." And a few scriptures later, he says, "And I've loved you with an everlasting love." This Easter season, you may be saying, if you really knew me, how would you ever love me? If you knew me at my core, you wouldn't love me. You may not even like me. Why would you want to be my friend? If you knew my failings and my frustrations, would you really love me at all? And yet God says, "I know you, and I love you with an everlasting love. I call you sons and daughters, heirs, joint heirs." Jesus says, "I no longer call you servants, I call you friend." The psalmist in Psalms 139 says it this way. I like this translation. He says, "O Lord, you've examined my heart. You know everything about me. You know when I sit down or when I stand up. You know my thoughts even when I'm far away. You see me when I travel. You see me when I'm at home. You know everything I do. You know what I'm going to say even before I say it, Lord. You go before me and you follow me. And yet, you place your hand of blessing on my head."